I just picked up every new item from the latest UNIQLO and JW Anderson collaboration to help you decide which items are worth your money. Now, I'm based in London and we are getting them slightly earlier in Europe, and it's available now on October 10th. But if you're in the States, it's available next week on the 17th of October. And in Asia, it's available on the 18th. All right, so starting off, we're going to look at the most viral item in this collection, and it's the Souffle Yarn gradation jumper or sweaters if you're in the US. Now, I managed to get two of them, one in the green gradation color and the other in the blue. And when I checked online, as soon as the drop was available, everything was gone within the first 10 minutes. And if you go onto UNIQLO's website now in Europe, they've actually just taken the product completely off the website. And by the time I got to the shop, I only managed to pick up the last pieces. I got the blue gradation jumper in the medium, and then I got the green one in the large. Now, I have to say I was a little bit hesitant about picking up the Souffle Yarn jumpers because the composition of them aren't exactly the best. But I have to say they are extremely comfortable, especially when you compare it to the 100% lamb's wool jumper in the UNIQLO U collection. And also when you're comparing them side by side, you can see that Souffle Yarn jumper is significantly thicker than the lamb's wool jumper. Now this one is a size large. Now usually I do wear size large in UNIQLO clothing. It's a little bit looser and got a more oversized fit to it. And I do think this one is a little bit oversized. I think you could probably downsize one if you want a more fitted look. Overall, I'm really impressed with the Souffle Yarn, to be honest. There were a lot of debates online on whether or not the low percentage of wool is an issue. Personally, I wouldn't say it's a big issue because I will say that for the last few weeks, I have been wearing the lamb's wool jumper quite extensively. It is a little bit itchy and also it's very thin. So if I put my camera with a light inside the jumper, you can see that a lot of light is coming from it because the wool fiber is not that tightly packed together. But when comparing that to the Souffle Yarn, so I put my phone in there, practically can't even see it. The jumper is just extremely thick, and there's me putting the fiber right up against the fabric and you pretty much can't see it at all. So whilst the wool percentage is low on this, I do think the trade-off on itchiness and also the thickness is completely worth it. And one thing to mention as well with the lamb's wool jumper is I do get a lot of static buildup with those. Whereas with these, as I'm putting it on or taking it off, I'm not getting any of that. And I think if you're in America or in Asia, I think this is definitely something that's worth picking up, especially on release day and as soon as it drops on the website as well. So along with the Souffle Yarn jumper, we've got the full zip, and instead of a gradation design, you're getting a bit of a pinstripe design on this one instead. And the story of this is pretty much exactly the same. So the wool percentage is not high, but you are getting a good trade-off on the itchiness of this and also on the thickness of the full zip. So if you are interested in the Souffle Yarn jumper, but you fancy something with a zip, then this is a great alternative. Okay, so with the last jumper, we've got the diamond stitch crew neck. Now, this one's not labeled as Souffle Yarn, but it might as well be. The composition of this is very similar to the Souffle Yarn. Obviously, it's got the diamond stitch design on the middle. And then for the sleeves, you've got the roll over cuff that is standard by design. So if I unroll this for you, you can see that it's got a center stitch right here. And if I fold it back the way it's meant to be, and this, I guess, is how the cuff is meant to look. I think the design of this is pretty good, but comparing to the gradation jumper, I think that one is far superior. Okay, next, let's talk about the trousers. So the wide leg jeans, I got them in the off-white, and these are actually in a size 32. Now, normally I do wear a size 33 or 34, depending on what item it is from UNIQLO. But for this one, I sized down a little bit due to the wide fit. Either that or my workout is starting to pay off. Since these jeans are on the more affordable side, you will notice that the fabric is a little bit thinner than what you get from traditional jeans from, say, Levi's or Ralph Lauren. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because the thinner fabric does give it a bit more of a flowy aesthetics. And I think that goes really well with the wide denim look as well. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it does make these pair of jeans look really good. So when I first saw these in the product photography, they do look significantly wider than the UNIQLO U wide jeans. But now that I'm wearing them, they're not as oversized as I'd expected. The silhouette turns out to be great. The style is definitely more on the trendy side, but they're still classic enough that I think they'll stay wearable for years to come. And since they're 100% cotton, I think they might just become as popular as the UNIQLO C wide joggers. Oh, and someone asked me to measure the leg length and the opening. I'm not going to measure the length because it is available on the website. But for the leg opening, it's about 27 centimeters or 10.5 inches. Now this is how the jeans will sit if you're wearing some chunky trainers. So I'm not wearing a belt at the moment, and you can see that it doesn't quite touch the floor, which It's perfect for me because there's nothing I hate more than clothes touching the floor. This is what they look like with a smarter pair of trainers. So the trainers are a little bit more slim, but they do sit quite well when it comes to slightly slimmer trainers. And then this is what they look like with loafers. So depending on how tall you are, they might end up touching the floor. But for me, these size 32, they seem to fit quite well. Now in terms of pockets, we've got the 2 standard front pockets and also on the back as well. Now on the right, you've got a little pocket for change or keys. And this is what it looks like when you try and fit an iPhone into the pocket. So for the pleated wide trousers, they do have a similar wide fit to the wide jeans, but they're nowhere near as wide. The material is really soft as well, and they're just extremely comfortable to wear. So one of the issues that I have with UNIQLO trousers in general is that the pockets are quite thin, and although they've never ripped, they do feel a bit flimsy. These, however, they feel extremely sturdy. So we got the pockets on the front, and this one has got the pocket in pocket. And also this is how they fit with an iPhone. Just sits really comfortably, and also for the pocket in pocket, fits perfectly. And on the back, you got the flaps and also the button to close it as well. Now, I've only been wearing these trousers for about 5 minutes, but I can already tell these are going to be my favorite trousers for this winter. They got good thickness to them, and also they are very soft. On the waistline, it just fits really well. So when you're comparing to those corduroy trousers from the UNIQLO U collection, these are just so much smarter and a lot more wearable than those corduroy trousers. So if you're in the market to pick up new trousers, regardless of whether you're looking for a wide fit, I think these are probably one of, if not the best option right now in the market. This is how they fit with a pair of chunky trainers. Something a little bit slimmer. Again, it just sits comfortably along the edge of the trainers. And then for some smart loafers, again, they sit very comfortably and they don't drag on the floor. Oh, and I forgot to mention, these are size 31. So for these, I've gone 2 sizes down. So something to bear in mind if you're wanting to pick these up. Now for the flannel shirts, I opted for the standard design rather than the quarter flannel design. I don't know how to call it. And normally I'm not keen on UNIQLO shirts since there are so many options here in the UK. But I have to admit, I do quite like this one. They're not as thick as other flannel shirts that I own. And if I had to compare them, I think they're closer in feel to Ralph Lauren's Oxford shirts than a typical flannel shirt. There's also a small JWA embroidery detail here, which I forgot to mention is also present in the trousers. It's not a game changer, but it is a nice touch from the design team. Now, whilst I wouldn't say this is an essential piece from this collection, like the Souffle Yarn jumper, I do think it's a solid choice if you're looking for a 100% cotton flannel shirt that is on the lighter side, especially considering price as well. Okay, so this is a Quilted Blouson, and for this one, I have actually gone for a size medium. Normally I do go for a size large with UNIQLO jackets, but I do find that this one is quite oversized. I think it would be better to go down a size. And also in general, you do kind of want these blouse and jackets to be a little bit tighter anyway. So I definitely recommend going down 1 size for this one. Obviously, the design is based on the iconic Barbour's quilted jacket. The design is not as shiny as the Barbour's jacket because of the material choice that they've gone for on this one. One thing to note is that they've gone for quite a large stitching pattern here. So you can see on my chest, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 little diamonds, and it's already filling the whole jacket. Whereas if you compare that to most of the Barbour's design, they've gone for a lot more of a tighter diamond pattern. Now, I do think that gives a little bit more of a sophisticated look compared to this. Overall, given the fact that this is half the price, I think this is definitely worth it if you're in the market for a quilted jacket. If you're not interested in this specific one, it's worth noting that UNIQLO did announce a white mountaineering collaboration that is dropping soon. I do think it's actually available already in Asia, if I'm not mistaken, but they haven't set a Europe or North America release date yet. So if you're not set on this one, then it might be worth waiting for when that one comes out. So we've got 4 pockets on the front. So we've got this button one, if I could undo the button. So you've got one here, and then you've got a side pocket as well. And that's the same for the left-hand side. And on the inside of the jacket, we've got a pocket. It's stuck together with Velcro. And I have mentioned I don't like Velcro, but these are the new Velcros which don't rip your clothes. So again, just a bit of thoughtfulness on some of the minor details within the UNIQLO design, which is why I just absolutely love this brand so much. And lastly, for the Chesterfield Coat. Now, whilst I do like the design of this, I do think the fit is a little bit too formal for my liking. You know, if you look at the shoulders, they do have a bit of padding on them. they're quite high up. Now this one's a size medium as well. I did go down a size, but I probably should have stuck to the large, because now with a t-shirt and a jumper on, this is actually getting a bit tight. So the overall design is definitely a lot more fitted compared to the quilted jacket, where even on a medium, it was quite loose inside. In terms of length, it goes to just over my knee, which I think is the ideal length for a long coat like this. Now in terms of pockets, you got a standard ones to your sides, and on the inside, you've got a pocket on the left and also a pocket on the right as well. And then for the lining, you've got the JWA detailing. Now this is probably one of the most expensive items you can pick up from UNIQLO at the moment. And for this price, I do think there are other alternatives from different brands that are offering something similar to this. So again, whilst I wouldn't say this is an essential piece, I think it is a good option, but not necessarily something that you must pick up. And lastly, I picked up 2 pairs of socks as well. I have noticed every JWA collaboration, they always release some socks. I've never actually picked them up myself, but obviously UNIQLO socks are great in general. When you're considering the deal that you get for these, I don't think you can go wrong with picking up 2 pairs of those. Right, so that's everything from the UNIQLO and JW Anderson collaboration that just dropped today. And don't forget, if you're in Europe, it's available right now, but if you're in America, it's dropping on the 17th of October, and in Asia on the 18th. The hottest item from this collaboration is definitely the Souffle Yarn gradation jumper, the one that I've got on right now. These ones, they just went out of stock immediately on the website and also in store as well. I think it's the busiest I've seen the UNIQLO store beyond the UNIQLO and Course collaboration from 2019. By the time I got there, most of the sizes were just completely sold out. I know the design of this is very good, and also for the price, I just don't think you can go wrong with this. And I definitely recommend anyone to pick this one up as soon as it's available online. And then the second item that I think is worth everyone picking up is the pleated white trousers. So I wasn't really sure what to expect from those. But once I've tried them on, they are just very, very comfortable. And the overall fit on them is just amazing as well. And to me, these just feel like something that should be 10 times the price. And you're just getting amazing value for what you're paying for these. So those 2 are my top picks from this collaboration. Let me know what your thoughts are. And again, thank you to everyone who's been tuning in to watch my videos. Honestly, really appreciate every single one of you who's been tuning in. And if you want to see more of my videos, there should be something here or here for you to watch.